I make a mistake, I will be clear. I don't hate you as a white woman. I don't hate you as a white man. I am sick and tired of this body so stupidly racially divided, so afraid, what the do I have to do in this council in order to get respect as a black woman?
All right, guys, we got to talk about a hilarious story that I think is a great example of how the diversity coalition of the Democrat Party is falling apart, okay? And one of the reasons why is because same Democrats who support the diversity coalition, because they use the diversity coalition as a means of pushing their agenda, right? They're realizing that, hey, these people have been radicalized, okay? Radicalized to the point where they are abusing this idea that they're victims, right? Because again, Democrats tell black folks, women, so-called people of color, gay folks, trans folks, oh, you're victims, okay? And the white man is the enemy, okay? Specifically, the Christian conservative white man, right? He's the enemy, okay? However, again, that rhetoric has backfired because the far-left woke revolutionaries that have been radicalized are now using their victimhood status in order to essentially punish anybody who goes against their far left agenda, including liberals and Democrats. And again, that leads me to this story here involving a Democratic Boston City Council member by the name of Miss Tiana Fernandez Anderson, who has, quote, created an unhealthy environment to the point where liberal colleagues are lashing out. They're basically running to conservative outlets like Fox News to complain about this woman and to say that, hey, she's intimidating us because anytime we criticize her or say, hey, we disagree with you, she boohoo whines and cries racism. And this woman just happens to have a long history of ranting and boohoo whining crying racism against whites, right, at Boston City Council meetings. And I want you guys to listen to this pretty deranged rant that this woman went on in 2022 where she cursed during the meeting and then went on to talk a whole bunch of other crazy stuff about redistricting and how it's racist and, you know, black woman. You guys know what they all say.
The fear is that, and this is, again, reporting out, the fear is that because some people are afraid that their district will change and diversify, like Council Baker's district, that people will run for office and that person will be a person of color. And so everyone is now super afraid that because Councilor Braden, a white woman, has it, that now that this body, because councilors, for example, all the white councilors here stick together, that they will vote or try to move the districts in a way that is not diverse sufficiently to be able to vote in electeds of color. We have fought for a very long time. It is 2022. We're going back and forth about allegations, but here, people are not innocent until proven guilty. People are guilty first. People are crucified. People are lynched. Same old tricks, same masters though. What the do I have to do in this council in order to get respect as a black woman? I'm not afraid of anybody here. When I make a mistake, I will be clear. I don't hate you as a white woman. I don't hate you as a white man. I am sick and tired of this body so stupidly racially divided, so afraid, so depraved. People with no faith because they are afraid of they're losing their advancement. They're afraid of bargaining. They're afraid of leveraging. These people have, oh my God, I can't even call you cowards because desperation deserves mercy. Here's a redistricting. Fine, we give it to a white woman. Can we all get along? Can we get together? Can we love each other now? Can we make sure that black and brown babies don't die? Can we make sure that cops don't kill before people are proven innocent? Can we do that? No, 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 because this body crucifies you first because of allegations. This is not a court. You don't get to crucify people before they're proven guilty. They're innocent until proven guilty. Now, after this, I will look forward to working with you because I have stamina. I believe, as Baldwin said, what you do, not what you say. Your votes here sometimes are racist. You move sometimes in a way that hurts my people. And then when I get up to stand up and talk, all she talks about is black stuff.
As you should.
I am here to represent every single black woman and man that suffers in the community. God has my back. I am not afraid to not have political or any type of affiliations or connections. I came here, I fear none, no man but my Lord. I came here to serve people. I came here to love. I came here to grow. But people talk about this racial equity thing. It's all fake. And you do politics and you hurt each other. And yet, here I am, a 5-foot-tall African woman from the projects. And I'm here to tell you, if the voters don't vote me back,
Wow. I think unhinged might be an understatement. But, hey, in today's society, right, where we reward this type of ghetto behavior, I'm surprised that MSNBC and CNN didn't parade her around to give her positive press coverage and to pretend like she's a victim the same way they did with ghetto Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is a bully. She is not a legislator. She has not created anything, and she has not created anything positive in Congress other than bullying people. And she started out bullying you in a way that was clearly racialized, talking about your lashes. I read that as a racialized attack. And she's been doing this. She did it to AOC. She's done it to so many, and AOC did come to your defense. What is it like having to be in a legislative body, which is supposed to be a prestigious institution, with someone like her?
Yeah, it's completely unproductive. But listen, she is showing the world who she is. And the fact that the Republicans continue to give her cover, it tells you who they are as well. Now, they want to disassociate themselves from her. But in reality, when you don't check her, you basically are complicit in the things that she does.
Yeah, so the irony and hypocrisy there is stunning, especially considering how Jasmine Crockett is talking about how Republicans not checking Marjorie Taylor Greene means they're complicit in her actions. Well, I can say the same thing about Democrats not checking you for your ghetto behavior in Congress. The fact they're not checking you and the mainstream media is parading you around as if you're a victim is actually, in my opinion, them signing off on your ghetto behavior that, again, we routinely let black women get away with because they're black, right? This is why this woman is able to get away with it. But by the way, I have to mention that beach blonde, bad built body, I think is a more accurate description of Joy Reid than it is of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Right? I think that must be noted. But anyways, back to this woman, okay? So Democrats, liberals on Boston's city council have an issue with this woman because apparently her radicalism has gotten out of control, right? You can see this woman is extremely emotional, probably too emotional to be leading any city, okay, or any, group of people. And, it plays out in the meetings where she acts unhinged and she goes on these rants that are purely based off emotion. And then she wants to accuse others of causing racial division when she's the one that is actually being racially divisive. So without further ado, let's get into this. A Democratic Boston City Council member who called to dismantle the white backdrop in America and create a revolution. Sounds like a communist to me, and that's one of the reasons why I call these people woke revolutionaries, because ultimately they want to usher in communism, right? This is what they want to do. This is the goal. Is starting to disturb her liberal colleagues with her wild antics and threats, according to a source who spoke with Fox News Digital. The source is a City Hall employee who requested anonymity because City Council member Tania Fernandez Anderson has created an unhealthy environment. The employee believes Fernandez Anderson is a troubled person who uses accusations of racism to get people to fall in line. Well, I mean, that is the operating manual of the Democrat Party, right? If you don't agree with me, then you're racist, okay? And now this woke progressive woman is using that against them. It's actually pretty hilarious. The source discussed the challenges of having someone in the city's government who has been, in their view, hostile, verbally abusive, and anti-Semitic. Quote, people are intimidated by her, and that intimidation does work, the source said. They said some members would give into her because, quote, no one wants to disagree with Tania because she is unpredictable. Well, you can't disagree with a black woman, because if you disagree with a black woman, then you're racist, right? That's how this works. Fernandez Anderson was elected in November 2021 and is self-described as, quote, the first formerly undocumented African-born immigrant and first Muslim elected in the city of Boston. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what this has to do with her qualifications, right? Like, this is what people lead with in regards to why they're qualified for a certain position. And then they get mad when people say, okay, well, you're not qualified, or that you are DEI, right? They get mad and upset and they want to boohoo on and cry bigotry when people question their qualifications, but they lead with this type of stuff. And to me, again, when people vote based off diversity, this is what you get, right? You get chaos and destruction, because that's all these people know. Since being elected, she stated her goal was to create a revolution for equity. Again, a communist. And that's what she is. Quote, it will be about equity, and I hope we don't have too many disagreements. In there, she said in an interview in December 2021, quote, I think that systemic racism is long overdue for us to overthrow it in order for us to create a revolution that brings about change, aka they want to overthrow capitalism. Right? This is what she actually is really saying. This is what she really means, okay? This is woke speak. Since then, Fernandez Anderson has been known for her public outbursts featuring swearing, yelling, and screaming at public city council meetings, according to the source. Now, here's the thing. As soon as you call her out for this behavior, right, being unprofessional, they'll say, oh, well, you're racist, right? You're racist for saying that a black woman yelling in a government meeting is unprofessional, right, and uncalled for. You can't curse and all that other stuff. If you say that, and you say, well, you're ghetto, then you're racist, okay? You're bigot. You must hate black women, okay? You can't tell a black woman to calm down or anything like that. You can't say anything to them, okay? You have to just accept their behavior for what it is. It's fascinating. The last thing someone wants is to be labeled as a racist in this city, the source said. Well, that's the problem. You guys care too much about being labeled a racist. Fernandez Anderson refers to her own tirades as giving smoke. Quote, don't come for me, because if you want smoke, you'll get smoke. I'm not afraid of any of you, she said during a March 2024 meeting. It's a threat. I feel like it's a threat, the source said about her comments. Look at this woman. This is just absolutely unhinged, right? Just absolutely unhinged. We should not have these characters in our government, guys. We really shouldn't. We really should not. And you wonder why these cities are in chaos. Well, it's because look at the people running them. Look at the people running them. These people have no business being elected officials, but this is who a lot of these liberals are voting for, right? Because, you know, hey, we must have diversity at all costs, okay? During a tirade in August 2022, the council member also called the city council depraved and stupidly racially divided because of her disagreements about redistricting. Quote, I can't even call you guys cowards because the desperation deserves mercy. Fernandez Anderson told her colleagues, quote, your votes here sometimes are racist. I am here to represent every black woman and man in the community. Quote, what the F do I have to do in this effing council to get respect as a black woman? She yelled while slamming her fist on the table. In private, Fernandez Anderson doesn't shy away from the impact of her blowing this type of smoke on colleagues. She once sent a text to the city council telling them to toughen the F up. Quote, whatever the F is the problem, work it out and leave out your evil resentments. Toughen the F up. I don't want to always feel I need to give anyone smoke, because when it comes to family, I know we are all capable of becoming warriors, the city council member said in a text message to her colleagues. I think the irony here is her telling her colleagues to toughen up, but yet this woman doesn't seem very tough, right? She seems emotional, but I don't think that she's tough, because as soon as you start criticizing her, she's going to melt down and start crying. The text message simultaneously asked her colleagues to give up dirty politics. The council member, referring to her frank manner of speaking, calls herself a language person and says, I think about how to be raw on purpose. Fernandez Anderson said the goal of her manner of speaking relates to the fact that, quote, we should dismantle the white backdrop in America and we should restructure it so that it is welcoming. Let's skip down here because apparently, again, like a lot of these woke revolutionaries that are in these positions of power, they are abusing their power in order to benefit their families and their friends. A few days after she took office and mere days after she completed the city's conflict of interest training, Fernandez Anderson put her sister and her son on payroll, according to the Massachusetts Ethics Commission. Quote, Anderson admitted to violating the conflict of interest law by hiring her sister and son to paid positions on her Boston City Council staff. The findings from the Ethics Commission said she infamously refused to swear the oath required of elected officials, pledging her allegiance to the United States and to carry out her duties with impartiality. The city council was forced to redo the oath after her non-participation was discovered. Yeah, so she basically refused to, pledge allegiance to the United States of America, right? And nobody really should be surprised by this because it seems like by default, our politicians are loyal to other countries more so than America, right? So she also tried to defund the police and veterans, right? So again, she's just a far left progressive. It's par for the course in regards to her actual beliefs, her allegiances. I just find it hilarious that people like this get voted into leadership positions in this country. And it really says a lot about the shortcomings of so-called democracy, right? This is what you get when ignorant people vote, right? I mean, nobody should be surprised because Ayanna Pressley, I believe, comes from Boston or some district near Boston. And again, look at her. I mean, she's no different than this woman. They both believe the same thing. So again, they continue to elect these clowns into office. And this is what you get. You get a whole clown show, right? A whole clown show where all these people do, instead of actually really arguing about certain policies and issues based off the merits. No, it's just racist, sexist, bigotry. That is the only way these people can argue anything, right? You have to be racist. There has to be racism involved, right? And it's just a shame that this is how dumbed down our politics has become. But hey, I can say that Democrats, liberals that are concerned about this, they deserve it, right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, the victimhood coalition is crumbling, and the radicalization of these individuals by Democrats is backfiring on them. And I think that this is one of these situations where you see that happening. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.